Dear learners, welcome back to your education channel, Learn and Educate, where we would be studying about the definition of the public administration as given by Marshall Dimock, wherein public administration is the fulfillment and enforcement of the public policy. It is concerned with implementation and enforcing the public policies. These policies are declared by the competent authority, that is legislature, executive, or other legitimate government bodies which has declared the the policies, and public administration is about the enforcement of those policies. It deals with the organization's powers and organization's problems. Public administration deals with the challenges of organizing, coordinating, controlling, structuring the government institutions to implement the policy effectively. It involves the distribution and exercise of powers within and among the public organizations. It is about it deals with the techniques of the management involved in carrying out the laws and policy formulated by the law making agency by the agencies of the government, wherein it uses the management tools, management techniques, practices, that is planning, organizing, controlling, coordinating to execute the public programs and the policy. It includes budgeting, the financial aspect, how much budget will be allocated, the implementation part, and how to complete the work within that allocated budget, the personal management, the planning, the decision making, and the implementation of those policies and the budget and the stated plan actually implemented. It is carrying out of those laws and policies, wherein public administration is tasked with the actual implementation of laws, the policies enacted by the policymakers. It is the practical aspect of the government operations which is turning policy into the practice, turning of the law into actual action. It is the law in action, wherein Marshall Dimock emphasizes about that public administration is not just theory, it is about the action. This phrase implies the translation of the statutory laws into practical effects on the society. Executive side of the government. It is primarily refers to the executive function, executive branch of the government, wherein the implementation of law, regulation, and services takes place. This definition is a broad in sense, wherein it includes the administrative activities performed by all the three branches of the government, that is legislature, which formulates the law, executive, which implements the policies concerned, and judiciary, which is about the judiciary and dispute arising between the states and the center, and any other law which is enacted to give judgment. Therefore, the purpose is the enforcement of the public policy. The purpose of the public administration is the enforcement, the implementation of the public policy, which are formulated by the competent authorities and the policy making agencies of the government. It is about the government operations in all the sectors, primarily in the executive, that is the executive side of the government. The organization structure and the means, that is the organization's powers and the principles of the management, the techniques of management used, the managerial tools, practical implementation of law, that is the law in action. It is about the executive branch in action. Therefore, it is understanding that public administration as a discipline and a practical functioning, it is essential for the government to run, wherein it is about the organizing, the techniques of the management. Organizing, it refers to the structural or arrangements of the rules, responsibility, and hierarchy within which the executive branch work. It ensures the coherent system of the management and the coordination of the public functions, public policy, and the services. It involves all the officers, employees, staffs who work within the public authority, the agencies of the government who recognizes the human resource as a critical part. They actively carry out the administrative activity, and encourages the activities, the habitual way, the customary methods in which the duties are to be performed of execution. It is about the established norms, the routines, the conventions that guides the public employee in their work, the procedures wherein the techniques, the powers, and the problems of the organization, the standardized methods, and the documented steps for completing various administrative work. It ensures consistency, efficiency, accountability in the functioning of government department. It is about the effective performance. The ultimate goal is the efficient and optimal execution of the government laws, of the policies and services to achieve the intended outcome of from those policies. It focuses on the roles related to public welfare, regulation, service delivery. It is entrusted with the executive branch, that is public administration is the executive side of the government. That is, the activities are assigned to the executive administrative arm. It distinguishes it from the legislative and the judicial roles. Therefore, focus on the agencies and the departments who carry out the state policies. Therefore, the definition focuses on the administration, the operations, that is the practical execution of the government functions and not just planning. And the scope covers the executive branch of the government. It focuses on the operation of the government. The stress is given fundamentally on the enforcement of the public policy which are declared by the competent authority. The universality of the public administration is about implementing policies, delivering of the services, managing resources across the all government agencies and the law-making agencies. Therefore, the policies which are formulated by the agency of the government are to be implemented, that is policy implementation, coordination and controlling, that is the organized action, accountability within the entire apparatus of the government. Emphasis is on all the that mentions, it gives importance to all the branches of the government, but emphasis is specifically given to the executive side of the government, that is the government in action at that level. Therefore, public administration is fulfilling and enforcing the public policy declared by the competent authority. It deals with the problems and powers of the organization and techniques of management, wherein it is about the implementation of the law and policy formulated by the policy making agency of the government. Public administration is the law in action. It is the executive side of the government.